Junie B, first grader, Aloha, haha. Chapter 2, Paradise. The children wrote in their journals forever, it seemed. Then finally, they started to finish. And at last, it was time for show and tell. My legs sprang up. They ran me to the front of the room. Then I flinged myself in the air again, and I shouted, "Vacation, vacation, I'm going on a vacation." Only too bad for me, because when I came down from my fling, I lost my balance again, and I landed on the floor again. This time, room 1 laughed their heads off. I tapped my fingers real annoyed. "Okay, I've really got to knock off the flinging," I said to just myself. Mr. Scary quieted everyone down. "Boys and girls, the reason Junie B is so excited today is that she didn't find out about her vacation until last night." He winked at me. "Tell everyone where you're going, Junie B." I took a big breath, and then the words came hollering out. "Hawaii, people! I'm going to Hawaii, and I'm going this very exact Sunday." All of the children's mouths fell open, except not for Richie Lucille's. Instead, Lucille stretched her arms in the air, and she did a giant yawn. "Hawaii, ho-hum, been there, done that," she said, real bored. Then she stood up, and she twirled around, and she sat back down again. My friend named Shirley stood up too. "Well, I've never been there," she said. "I can't believe it, Junie B. You're really going to Hawaii?" "Yes, Shirley, really," I said. "This was the biggest surprise of my career, I tell you. On account of last night, Daddy said he is going on a job interview in Hawaii, and he surprised me and Mother with 2 extra tickets." I skipped around my teacher very joyful. "And that is not even the bestest part yet," I said, "because Daddy told me that the trip is for big people only, and so my baby brother named Ollie is not even allowed." Room 1 looked shocked at that information. "Wow," said my friend Jose. "You mean you're big people, Junie B?" I nodded my head real fast. "Oh, yes, Jose. I am big people, all right." That's how come I got to read the travel booklet with my mother last night, and the travel booklet says Hawaii is a real, actual paradise. Mr. Scary grinned. "A paradise, huh? That's a great word, Junie B. Does everyone know what a paradise is?" Sheldon shot his hand in the air. I do, he shouted. "My grandpa Ned Potts has a paradise. He used to play craps at the gambling casino." But then someone squealed to Grandma. And so now he's not allowed out at night anymore. May jumped up and pointed. "Sheldon said a bad word. Sheldon said a bad word," she tattled real loud. Mr. Scary stared at her. "May, dear, I'm very sorry to ruin this special tattling moment for you, but Sheldon did not say a bad word. Crap is a dice game that's played in gambling casinos." May stood there a second. "Well, at least I gave it a shot," she said. Then she did shrug, and she sat back down. After that, Mr. Scary printed the word paradise on the board. I turned and looked at Sheldon. "And Sheldon, my friend," he said, "the word is paradise, not pair-o-dice." Sheldon did a shrug too. "I don't think my grandma really cares how you spell it," he said. "Grandpa's still not getting out at night." Mr. Scary closed his eyes a minute. Then he went to the sink and he got a drink of water. On his way back, he stopped at the world map on the bulletin board, and he showed room 1 where Hawaii is. "Boys and girls, these Pacific Islands are the main islands that make up the state of Hawaii," he told us. He got the world globe off the shelf, and he asked me to carry it around to show the children. I stopped at each desk. "Whoa," said Roger. "Hawaii looks like a bunch of little dots floating in the ocean." I nodded. "I know it, Roger," I said, "but my mother said that the dots are bigger in person." Mr. Scary laughed. "Oh, they're much bigger in person, Junie B, and they're not really floating, Roger, so don't worry. Our friend Junie B won't be drifting away." May did a little grump noise. "Phooey," she said. I ignored that situation. Instead, I put the globe back, and I went to the front of the room again. I know other information about Hawaii too, I said. Mother read that there are lots of flowers and birds there. Plus also, she read that Hawaii was formed by exploding volcanoes. I thought for a second. She read a bunch of other junk too, but I finally got bored and tuned her out. Mr. Scary did a chuckle. Well, volcanoes are pretty interesting, really. When volcanoes erupt, they spew out lava. And over millions of years, lava can form land masses, he explained. As a matter of fact, there are still 2 active volcanoes in Hawaii right now. I stood there real quiet, and I let the information sink in my head. Okay, see, I wasn't actually aware of that eruption problem, I said. May jumped in again. Well, I'm sure glad that I'm not going to Hawaii, she hollered. Who wants to get erupted on by a spewy hot volcano? Getting erupted on by a spewy hot volcano would ruin your whole vacation trip. Mr. Scary sucked in his cheeks. Junie B is not going to get erupted on by a spewy hot volcano, May. There are no active volcanoes on the island where Junie B is going. May thought a minute. Okay, fine. But let's just say that she did get erupted on by a spewy hot volcano. That would definitely ruin her whole entire vacation. True or false? Mr. Scary went to the sink again. This time, he splashed water on his face. And after he dried off, he put May back in her chair. I waved my hand to talk some more. Yeah, only I didn't even tell everyone the most exciting part yet. Because guess how I'm getting to Hawaii, people? Guess. I said, no, wait, I'll give you a hint. After that, I straightened out my arms like wings, and I zoomed around room 1. See me, people? See me? I'm flying. That's how I'm getting to Hawaii, in a real, actual airplane. Lucille stood up and did another yawn. Airplane, schmairplane, she said. Tell me something I haven't done. Mr. Scary sat her down. This is going to be an amazing adventure for you, Junie B. He grinned real big. And just to be sure that you bring back lots of wonderful pictures, I bought you a little gift for your trip. He went to the closet and he took out a shopping bag. I hurried and peeked inside. And wowie, wow, there was a camera in that thing. I quick pulled it out and I showed the class. Look, people, look. It's the kind of camera that you get at the drugstore. I am excellent at this equipment because I already used one on my class field trip in kindergarten. After that, Mr. Scary reached into the bag and pulled out another gift. And take a look at this, Junie B. This is called a photo journal. A photo journal is similar to the first grade journals we use in class every day, except a photo journal tells a story with photographs instead of words. He opened it up for me. See inside? Each page has a place for a daily picture and a caption. A caption is another word for a picture title. He showed the album to the class. Every day, Junie B will take a picture of what she did on her trip, he said. Then she will organize her photos and give them captions. And when she comes back to school, her photo journal will tell us the story of her exciting trip to paradise. He handed me the album. Doesn't that sound like a fun assignment, Junie B? I started to nod. But then suddenly, I stopped because something did not sound right about that sentence. I tapped on my chin. It was the word assignment, I believe. Finally, I looked at my teacher. Okay, here's the problem, I said. Assignment means schoolwork, and Hawaii means vacation, and children do not actually like to mix those two items. Mr. Scary smiled. But this will be a fun assignment, he said. And it's a very special assignment, too. You're going to be Room 1's first official photojournalist. My ears perked up. Official, I said. Did you say the word official? He grinned. Yes, I did. That's exactly what I said. Official. I looked at him again. Official means important, right? Oh, yes, he said. You can't get much more important than being official. I stood up a little bit straighter. Official makes you actually taller, I said. After that, Mr. Scary shook my hand and he walked me back to my seat. Oh, he said, and don't forget to take your first grade journal to Hawaii with you. It would be a terrible shame to miss a whole week of journal writing, wouldn't it? I looked at him kind of strange. Teachers and children do not have the same kind of brains. Finally, I did a sigh, and I took out my journal, and I dropped it in the bag with my camera. My friend named Herbert turned around very excited. "You're a lucky duck, Junie B. Jones. I wish I was going to Hawaii next week." "Me too," said Lenny. "Me 3, said Jose. I looked at May. She did not say me 4. Instead, she kept on just staring and staring straight ahead. She didn't talk at all. I did a shrug and went back to my own business. Then suddenly, without any warning, May shot her arms into the air and she hollered the word, "Kaboom!" She looked at me and smiled. "That was the sound of a spewy hot volcano erupting on you," she said. I sat there a second. Then I did a shiver. May is not amusing. Chapter 3 is called New Friend.
But you gotta wait for tomorrow.